Freddie Mercury, the iconic frontman of Queen, was known for his powerful voice, electrifying stage presence, and flamboyant persona that captured the hearts of millions across the globe. But beneath the fame, the spotlight, and the adoring fans, there was a side of Freddie Mercury that the world rarely saw. It was a side shaped by love, vulnerability, and deep intimacy with someone he cherished deeply, but kept hidden from the world, Jim Hutton. Freddie's life was often a delicate dance between his public identity as a rock star and his private life, which was shaped by a complicated web of relationships, some public and others kept secret. While Freddie's relationships were always a subject of curiosity for the media, it was his relationship with Jim Hutton that remained relatively quiet for much of his career. Hutton, a quiet Irishman, entered Freddie's life at a time when the star was facing his own personal battles, and it would be Jim who would eventually become his rock during his final years. It was in the early 1980s when Freddie and Jim first crossed paths, and their story began not with an extravagant moment, but with a simple meeting. Jim was a hairdresser, and a man who caught Freddie's attention for his kind heart and unassuming nature. Jim was unlike anyone Freddie had been with before. Their connection was different from the flings Freddie was known for. It was real, deep, and sustained. Yet the world had little idea about this part of Freddie's life. It wasn't something Freddie readily shared, especially not during a time when he was still in the throes of his fame and trying to keep aspects of his life private. Jim, a soft-spoken and humble man, was not interested in the limelight. He didn't want to be seen as another part of Freddie's colorful story, rather. He wanted to offer something that was simple, yet profoundly important. Unconditional love. It was a love that went unnoticed by the public, overshadowed by Freddie's larger-than-life persona. But it was also a love that would define the final chapter of Freddie's life. Their relationship wasn't without its struggles. In the early days, Freddie still had his other relationships, which caused tension and difficulty for both him and Jim. Jim, however, always understood Freddie's complicated nature. He never pushed him, but he also never let Freddie slip away emotionally. He stayed by his side, offering quiet companionship, while the world admired the flashy, extroverted persona of Freddie Mercury. Their relationship blossomed in the quiet corners of Freddie's London home, away from the prying eyes of the media. As time passed, Freddie's career reached new heights with Queen, but his personal life, particularly his relationship with Jim, remained a secret for the most part. Freddie's love life and his struggle with his sexuality became tabloid fodder, but he refused to let that define his relationship with Jim. The truth was that Jim was the one person who didn't see him as just the rock star. Jim saw Freddie for who he truly was. This genuine bond was a rare treasure that not many got to witness, but Freddie and Jim knew the depth of their connection. One of the most poignant moments in their story came in the late 1980 South. Freddie was diagnosed with AIDS. It was at this moment that Jim's role in Freddie's life evolved even further. Jim was no longer just a companion, but a caregiver, a protector, and a source of unwavering support. While the world turned its back on Freddie due to the stigma surrounding AIDS, Jim stood firmly by his side. There was no tabloid, no headline, no rumor that could break the bond they had built over the years. Jim was there, by Freddie's side, through it all. Freddie's illness had a profound impact on their relationship. Jim was determined to ensure that Freddie was cared for, loved, and treated with dignity during his final years. It was a testament to their unwavering bond. Jim did not see Freddie as a public figure. He saw him as the person he loved and was devoted to. And nothing, not the disease, the media, nor public perception, could change that. Jim remained steadfast in his role, providing Freddie with the comfort and stability he needed in his most vulnerable moments. S. often said that the true measure of love is how someone stands by you when times are tough. And Jim Hutton's love for Freddie Mercury shone brightly in those final years. Jim was there in Freddie's most vulnerable moments. He made sure Freddie's world was filled with care, compassion, and love, even as the world outside seemed to be growing more distant from him. Their relationship was built on mutual respect and devotion, a true partnership in the face of immense hardship. Jim loved Freddie in a way that was not just based on fame or admiration, but on a deep emotional connection that transcended all the external pressures. When Freddie's death came on November 24, 1991, Jim was there holding his hand, surrounded by the love they had created together. Jim's grief was deep, but he had no regrets. He knew that their time together, though brief, was filled with genuine love and connection. Jim was not a part of the flashy narrative that surrounded Freddie's career. He was not part of the glitzy world that Queen was known for, but he was a crucial part of Freddie's final days, a constant source of support in a time when Freddie needed someone to show him love without the glare of fame. After Freddie's death, Jim Hutton kept their relationship private. He didn't seek attention or fame from the relationship he had with Freddie. Instead, he lived a quiet life, carrying the memory of his love. For Freddie Mercury with him until his own passing in 2010, Jim never capitalized on his connection to Freddie. Never sought out interviews or recognition, choosing instead to honor the privacy and sacredness of the love they shared. Their story, though mostly untold, is one that speaks to the power of love in its purest form. It was not love for fame, not love for the spotlight, but a quiet, unwavering love that transcended all the noise around them. It's a reminder that the true depth of relationships often exists far away from the public eye. And sometimes the most important connections are the ones we hold in the most private parts of our lives. Freddie Mercury and Jim Hutton's love story may not have been publicized in the way others in the public eye often are, but it remains a testament to the enduring power of love and the importance of standing by those you love in the hardest of times. Their story is an inspiration, a reminder that real love is not about fame, fortune, recognition. It's about loyalty, care, and being there for each other no matter what the world may say or see. Jim's love for Freddie Mercury and Freddie's love for Jim, it's a timeless testament to the quiet, beautiful moments that define the most meaningful relationships.